I don't know, Mickey. I think I'd rather be cool and alive. But that's just my preference. Alright guys, welcome back to what seems to have taken forever to get to, an episode of Rolling with T-Bone. As you've seen at the opening, there's some things happening. Oh man, it seems like it's been forever, guys, that we're out here on a beautiful fall day. Might be the last little bit of cool weather, good weather that we have. And as you can see, we're not riding on Diablo or Blue Moon or Big Papa. So what has happened since the last time I talked to you guys? I traded Diablo, the B-Rod, for this spike. What we have here, guys, is kind of a halfway replica of the motorcycle from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Done tasteful. What it is a 1992 Softail Springer. When the opportunity to trade for this bike came up, guys, with Diablo, I couldn't pass it up because it's not often that a intact, unchopped up with the actual Harley Davidson Springer front end they don't fall in your lap every day. 6-gallon tank. But I tell you what, excuse me guys, there's something in the air. But anyway, these bikes don't fall into your lap every day. But anyway, welcome to Rolling with T-Bone. If you're new here, welcome in. My name's T-Bone. Go check out some of my old videos and you'll see exactly what we're doing here. I make motorcycle content and, well, any kind of content really. But if you're new here, welcome in. If you're old here, welcome back. You know what's going on. I'll tell you guys, let me give you a real quick update on R1 real quick. Regina's doing fine. She had the cancer removed. All of the lymph nodes around her were fine. There's no other spots. It was just one spot, about 1.6 centimeters. They took it out. Now she's getting ready to start radiation here in a few days, and she'll be doing the radiation for 5 weeks, and she should be good to go. So we're very thankful. Just keep us in your prayers. Still a lot going on, still a lot of other appointments, a lot of other things happening. You know, just keep us in your prayers and your thoughts. But I haven't been shooting any content because mainly I just haven't had time, guys. But you know, R1's doing a lot better, feeling a lot better. She's still fatigued a little bit, but that's to be expected with, I mean, the last 6 months she's had cancer removed, she had a stroke. I mean, a little bit of fatigue is to be expected, just to be honest with you. But man, I thought I would introduce you guys to the newest member of the Rolling with T-Bone family, that being this 92 Springer. Now, before we go any further, like I was going to say, before we go any further, let me go ahead, for you the purists out there, this is not an exact replica of the motorcycle used in Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Although it is period correct, being a 92 model, there's a lot of differences. This is Softail. So if you're going to ask yourself the first question, what would I need to build the motorcycle from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man? Well, that motorcycle actually has a name. It was called BD3. Black Death was the name of the motorcycle. 3 being the third version. Now, what you have to start that build is a 1985 FXRS lowrider. It's a FXR, it's a lowrider. You know, the third version of that, because Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man came out in 1991, but the movie was set in the future, 1996. So just a few years in the future, the movie was set. The FXRS lowrider would have been, at the time that the movie said it was, would have been an 11-year-old motorcycle. So it would have came out of the factory as a lowrider, some kind of custom mods, and then it went to a complete chopper. So the ingredients to build the Black Death motorcycle: you have to have an 85 FXRS lowrider, you have to cut the front end and rake it 40 degrees, have to put a wide glide front end on it, but the biggest part of it is you have to have a 98 cubic inch stroker Evo engine. That was the heart. It was a 98 stroker, a 98 CI stroker, and that's what you have to have in the heart of your FXRS for it to be, you know, replica worthy. As far as I know, what little bit of research I've done on the bike itself, I think Mickey Rourke actually still owns it, because he drops it off at different shows and museums, and he still does photo shoots with the bike. Is it the one that was used in the movie, or is it a replica he owns? From everything I've read, it's not a replica, it's the actual bike, which is pretty cool, and that means he's owned the bike since '91. I know he had a lot of input on the build of the bike when they were building it for the movie. I know he had a lot of input on it, because it was the bike that was donated for the movie came from Mickey Rourke. It was his lowrider. So you got to have the stroker engine, 98 stroker engine. You got to have the FXRS frame, and then you just got to have a lot of ingenuity and know-how. Now, our Softail here, this is a Springer Softail, 92 model, 6-gallon tank. This actually has a 2000 S&S case, a 2000 model S&S case motor. I'm not sure what's been done to it. I haven't been into the heart of it. I just know it came across the first time I saw the bike. Of course, it's got all the nice stickers, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man stickers, the Harley Davidson Evolution sticker with the dead man's hand, all that's correct. Sanded down to the frame, and then just clear coated with a good clear coating, high gloss clear coat. That is correct. And then drag bars, and then after that it's pretty well much not a replica anymore, because I don't have a bobbed fender. I actually have a full Softail fender, and I have saddlebags. And if you remember the movie, Marlboro Man was the one who actually carried saddlebags. Harley never carried no saddlebags. So to all you purists out there, I know I'm not riding the FXR, but this is still a novelty bike, and it's very cool. I like it. I liked it enough to get rid of Diablo to get it, so. It's got a 21-inch front spoke wheel, which is what Black Death had. This is just a fun bike to ride, guys. I'm telling you, this thing rides like, it's just fun. And the purists, because this movie and this bike caused a lot of controversy in the early 90s. And what I mean is that you had the purists who were panhead purists, knucklehead purists, shovelhead purists, hated the Softail Evolution engine. They hated the Softail bike, and they hated the Evo engine because they were shovelhead you know, FXR purists, and they hated these bikes. Now, kind of like my generation, when the single cam Evos and the twin cam Evos, you know, we're Evo guys. We're not Milwaukee guys. And then 20, 30 years down the line, when Harley Davidson comes up with something else, you'll have Milwaukee 8 purists that won't like whatever's being built. So it's a constant grind. The thing's always grinding. So you're not going to make everybody happy. But the controversy was, when that movie came out, all of the shovelhead, panhead, you know, knucklehead purists didn't like the Evo engine. They didn't like the way it looked. They didn't like the way it sounded. They didn't want it to be a Harley Davidson engine, which it was, but they didn't like that. But I love the Evo engine. Single cam, double cam, twin cam Evos. I just like the Evo engine. The twin cam Evo had a few issues, but pretty quick the aftermarket jumped in and took care of that. S&S and J&P pretty well much in the late 90s and the early 2000s eliminated a lot of the twin cam problems in the early 2000s with the plate to replace the timing chain tensioners with. But this one's got the S&S crank, or I mean case. Probably has an S&S crank. Not sure about the carb, it may be S&S. But if you paid any attention at all to anything that I've ever said on this channel, you know that I think the 90s Harley Davidsons are the greatest Harley Davidsons built so far. Now, like I said, 70s and 60s purists are going to say their generation was. I, of course, think my generation was. And that was one of the things that really turned me on about this bike in particular, is it has customization done to it, but it's not radical. It ain't raked, it ain't stretched, it ain't cut. Because I'm going to be honest with you, 90s models Harley Davidsons, I think look good without having to heavily modify. Of course, change out the bars, even change the rims, change the seat. If you don't like the seat, get a more comfortable seat. But for the most part, I like the stock look of a Harley Davidson out of the 90s. Blue Moon, of course, being a 97 Dyna, I think Blue Moon's a beautiful bike just the way it is without any heavy modifications. But that's just me. But I have got a couple of videos of me riding Diablo, doing the Riding Down the Road series. A couple of minutes long. I haven't put one up yet because I wanted to see where this trade went. But I'm going to post them. I might post them before this video comes out, but if not, it won't be long after. But I just wanted to introduce you guys to the new bike. I've got to figure out what we're going to call him. I'm not going to call it Black Death because it's certainly not the Black Death bike. It's not the bike from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. So, you know, Mickey Rourke, he made such an iconic movie with the character Harley Davidson, and the motorcycle was a character by itself. And I mean, coming out of the 90s, you had a lot of great movies and TV shows coming out of the 90s. And of course, Black Death was an iconic motorcycle. The Softail Custom from this TV series Renegade was iconic. I mean, we just had a bunch of iconic motorcycles because everybody said after the whole 60s chopper movie, cult movies was done being made, that the motorcycle, you know, the motorcycle fad had passed. I beg to differ, because like I said, we had Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, Stone Cold, which I've done a video on Stone Cold. I haven't done one on Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Maybe that was foreshadowing all the time back that this would be the video being made. But you know, in the 90s, and I've made videos to this end, that in the 90s we weren't the generation where you could just say don't do that and never question it. We were the why generation. We wanted to know why not. Don't rock the boat. Well, okay, well, don't rock the boat. Why not? The motorcycle culture changed in the 90s. Big change happened in the motorcycle culture in the 90s. Pro street choppers started coming along, and it was no longer the old Harley Davidson that you might get to where you were going on or not. There was a lot of custom builds being done, a lot of customization. The motorcycle culture exploded in the 90s. Of course, a lot of us were riding motorcycles before they were cool, when it was still taboo, and I've made videos about that. If you want to go back and check out some of my older videos, I've talked about that subject. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to touch base with y'all real quick and just let you know what was going on. Thank y'all for the continued prayers and support for R1 and myself and our family. Just keep praying and that it'll keep getting better and better, and then she can get through this these radiation appointments coming up in Blairsville. But yeah, we you know, us some of God, you want to know if God has a sense of humor, start planning stuff. Because just about the minute you think you've got your life planned out, God throws you a swerve. But you know, we just deal with it. But welcome to our new bike on Rolling with T-Bone. I'm going to try to start putting out some kind of content, hopefully once a week, if not. You know, I know it's been a little while since I put out a video. I'm not sure if it's been 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll just put it out as I can, guys. But thank you guys for the continued support. Thank you for rewatching the Halloween series. I shared all of the videos that I had shot last year for Halloween. So those kept me afloat during the Halloween season. And if I don't get to say nothing before, I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. This video will probably come out after Veterans Day, but I want to say, you know, happy Veterans Day to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. But alright, guys, well, that's pretty well much going to seal this inaugural ride of the 92 Springer Softail, the newest bike in the Rolling with T-Bone family. Gonna miss old Diablo though, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when it comes to Diablo, I wasn't really sure if I was ever going to commit to keeping that motorcycle long term. I loved it. It was fast. And I think that was one of the things that worried me, is it was so fast. And I was afraid that I was going to end up busting my butt on it if I didn't get rid of it. But this is more my style, more my speed, more what I am. But I tell you what, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just say I love y'all. Thank y'all for all the support. And I'm going to shut this video off here. Remember to like, share, comments. Go over to my YouTube channel if you haven't, guys. If you've got a YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's try to get our views up over on YouTube as much as we do on Facebook. But tell you what, guys, until the next time, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. I'm T-Bone, and you have been watching Rolling with T-Bone.